And we don't have an intro. We will have a new intro by January, but they're filming tonight, so we'll be getting some footage for next time. Okay, we on? Okay. I'd like to call to order the December 1, 2014 meeting of the Buncombe County Board of Commissioners. As always, we start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd ask you to join me. Just stand. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if you'll join me in prayer. God, thank you for the wonderful Thanksgiving season and the upcoming holiday season. We appreciate the newly elected commissioners. We particularly hold up Miranda Burril, who is attending her first meeting tonight as elected official, and are mighty proud of her and glad to have her on our team. Give all of us, including the newly elected commissioners, wisdom, ability to discern the best path for our county and commission to follow. I'd ask that you also bless our servicemen and women who are putting their lives on the line so we can enjoy our country with the rights and privileges that make us the best nation in the world. Place your hand of safety over each member of the military who is serving us so that we can have these discussions and quiet deliberations for what is right and good for Buncombe County. Thank you for our staff, the men and women who represent us on the front line and do such a wonderful job of carrying out the policies that we try to put together and make as part of our law. Thank you for this opportunity to serve. Take care of those who are sick, those who have problems, those who have bad luck, difficult times. Give them hope. And most of all, help us to be the best people we can be. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. In accordance with our Code of Ethics, all county commissioners have the duty to obey all applicable laws regarding official actions, to uphold the integrity and independence of the office, and to avoid impropriety in the exercise of our official duties, to faithfully perform the duties of the office, and to conduct the affairs of the governing board in an open and public manner. Is there any item on the agenda that the outcome would have a direct, substantial, and readily identifiable financial impact on any board member? If not, does any board member have any financial interest in the public contracts coming before our board today? Hearing none, then all the board members have a duty and responsibility to vote on each item that comes before us. Our next order of business will be public comment. The time limit for comment to the board is 3 minutes. If your time expires, you may leave any questions or comments along with your name, address, phone, and email with the county manager. The commissioners are not expected to comment on any matters during public comment. This is your time to talk to us. Comments should be limited to subjects that are within the jurisdiction of the commission or pertain to matters upon which we can act. Any individual speaking during public comment shall address the entire board. Any polling of board members is inappropriate. Persons addressing the board are expected to observe the decorum of our chamber and to be respectful of everyone in the room. Any person who willfully interrupts, disturbs, or disrupts the session will be asked to leave the meeting. The Commission reserves the right to deny any public address on a subject that's previously been presented to the board. Does any member of the public wish to be heard tonight? Mr. Rice?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Everybody ought to raise their hand on this and congratulate everybody for getting a seat on the board, because you deserve a congratulations for what you got to do. and put up with me. But, you know, it's great to see people come and serve, new ones at least. I remember Gene Rainey saying one time, he said, we got to be careful how we treat people because we need people to serve in the future. And it's no different in life. Somebody's got to fill the shoes. I doubt if anybody's going to fill my shoes because they don't want to do that kind of a commitment. People are losing commitment. But when you're here to serve, it's a bigger job than what people realize. And even though I gig you every once in a while and talk a little rough once in a while, I do appreciate you. As a human being, we need to appreciate each other. We can differ, and we differ pretty hard sometimes, but that's okay. Sometimes it brings good results. So one thing on the agenda that I'd like for you to look at is on the Lake Julian property that you're looking at, $125,000, is since they're reorganizing Duke Energy, I just wonder if they have any plans of reorganizing that, and if you've looked into it, because putting $125,000 out, that probably needs to be looked at to see if they are going to be changes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. Any other public comment tonight? All right. If we could get back to Mr. Rice on the Lake Julian question. Next, we have a public hearing on the Plasticard-Locktech International Revenue Bonds. And Mr. Michael Frew is going to tell us about what the revenue bonds requested are and how this works. Thank you, Mike.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, good evening. This is a public hearing of Plasticard-Locktech. They're requesting that this board approve what the Industrial Facilities Pollution Control Financing Authority approved on October 30th, and that is qualified small issue industrial revenue bonds of the authority in the amount not to exceed $4,250,000. This is not a regular economic development agreement where it's not county money and the county is not obligated on any of these funds once they're issued, but it is a method of financing for manufacturing of tangible personal property. So it just gives them a good interest rate, and I think the last time they came before the board last year, they got about earlier this year, 3.4%. So it'll be somewhere in that neighborhood, and they pay it off over a term, and the county's not obligated to repay at all. And it required to come to this board because of Internal Revenue Code provisions require that the Board of Commissioners of any locality where this money is being borrowed approve it so that they can get the interest rate excluded from their taxes. So Mark Goldberg is here from Plasticard to answer any particular questions you might have regarding the project in general, but I would recommend approval by this board of the resolution as presented to the board and in your packet.
All righty, thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Frew or Mr. Goldberg?
Just got a comment, just for clarification to make sure that people understand there's no obligation created for Buncombe County in this, that this is just an avenue for us to be able to assist in providing this, in this loan being provided to Plasticard.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
thank
And
you.
what they do, it's the Industrial Facility Authority will issue the bonds, just sign on the dotted line, and what they do is find a private placement, usually GE Capital Credit, so they would buy it, and they're sort of like the bank, and any defaulting would not be an obligation of the taxpayers.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions before we begin our public hearing? All right, if not, I'll call the public hearing to order at 6:50. Any members of the public wish to be heard on the Plasticard-Locktech revenue bonds? Hearing none, I'll declare the public hearing closed at 6:51. Is there any discussion among the commission?
Move for approval.
Been a motion by Commissioner Belcher. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chair Frost. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of approval of the revenue bond proposal outlined by Mr. Frew and in the motion by Commissioner Belcher, second by Vice Chair Frost, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The motion carries 7-0. Thank you. I think we have no county manager's report tonight. Is that right? Next order of business is the election of vice chair. Thank you, Mr. Goldberg. Excuse me, we need to approve the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Been a motion by Vice Chair Frost. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Is there any discussion of approving the consent agenda separately? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda specifically, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion carries 7-0. Next, we have election of vice chair. Are there any nominations?
Chairman Gant, I would like to nominate Brownie Newman for vice chair of the Board of Buncombe County Commission. Chairman Commissioner Newman brings years of elected service to this position and is immensely qualified to be vice chair. Furthermore, Commissioner Newman has earned a vast amount of credibility in the community as a tireless proponent of education, environmental stewardship, and equality. Not only has he spearheaded policies advancing these values, but he's taken the difficult votes and done the heavy lifting to keep our county moving forward. Positions in public leadership are earned through service rendered to a community, and Commissioner Newman has shown time and time again he is worthy of the public's trust by working hard to promote the community's values of inclusion, justice, and progress.
Thank you. Commissioner Newman's been nominated. Are there any other nominations?
Commissioner Belcher.
Commissioner Belcher has been nominated. Any other nominations?
Second.
That's okay. There's been a second. Okay. There's been a motion.
Can I make a
Yes, sir,
statement
please.
too on
Yes.
Mr. Belcher?
You certainly can.
Mr. Belcher's been here for 2 years. He's learned a lot, and he's been to 99% of the events that half of us couldn't make it to. So he has spent a lot of time in Buncombe County working very hard, not just in his district, in all districts. So I have the greatest respect for him and think he'd do a fantastic job in that position.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Any other comments? If not, we'll call the question. We'll ask the clerk to poll the commission.
Commissioner Belcher.
Commissioner Belcher.
Commissioner Newman.
Belcher.
Belcher.
Newman.
Newman.
Okay. Congratulations, Mr.
Thank you. Can I make a
Vice Chair.
comment?
You can.
I want to say that it is an honor for me to serve within the county, to be visible out in the county. I have tried my best to be at our schools, to be at the charity events for those that are the less fortunate, to try to be able to provide and leadership and let people see someone out there. I have been out. I will continue to do that because I do enjoy the service part of our commission. I thank all of the commissioners for what they do and for the positions that they hold, and they do it with dignity, and I appreciate that. Outside of probably I've been to a lot of events, and probably the only one that I've seen the chairman there so many times, and I appreciate your leadership, but I am very thankful for all the for the people that voted, and for Commissioner Newman. He's a good commissioner, does a good job, and I'm thankful for his service also.
Thank you. All right, next we have board appointments. We have many boards. Let's just take them one by one. Audit Committee, is there Commissioner Fryar is serving on the Audit Committee, and I think you expressed an interest in continuing service. Is that right?
I'll nominate Commissioner Fryar.
Okay.
Second.
Been a motion and second. Is there any other nominations? Anyone, any comments? All right, if not, we'll call the question. Since there's one nomination, I'll just ask for a vote. All those in favor of Commissioner Fryar, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. He is appointed by a 7-0 vote. Next, we have the Transportation Advisory Committee.
I move to appoint Newman and Frost.
Okay. Newman and Frost have been nominated. Are there any other nominations?
I'll nominate Newman and Fryar.
Okay. Any other nominations? All right, I would propose on this one, let's vote one seat and then do seat 2. Does that agree with everybody? Instead of voting at the same time? Okay, let's poll then. Seat 1.
There's
Poll.
Make sure I understand what you're saying.
I was going to,
well, so I was nominated by both people who made a motion. So
Yeah.
if you want to do that, then let's just do mine first. So
all right, so the
Newman.
Newman, seat held by Mr. Newman, right? Poll,
So we're doing Brownie for this first seat.
yes.
I think it's going to be unanimous, but Commissioner Fryar, Brownie Newman for the first seat on the TAC?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, first seat. Brownie for the first seat? This is weird.
Newman.
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 Okay.
Newman.
Seat 2, we have 2 candidates. We have Frost and Fryar. If you'll poll the board.
no, it's Frost and Belcher.
No, Frost and Fryar.
I thought you said Belcher.
Fryar.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioner Frost?
Frost.
Frost.
Fryar.
Frost.
Frost.
Fryer.
Fryer.
Commissioner Frost is appointed to, and Commissioner Newman will be our representatives on that board. Tourism Development Authority, any nominations?
Joe Belcher.
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioner Belcher has been nominated. Any other nominations?
Sorry, I got ahead of you.
All those in favor of Commissioner Belcher, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. He is appointed by a 7-0 vote. Smart Start Board, I think we have determined does not, we do not appoint to that for now. Crimestoppers Board, are there any nominations?
Ellen Frost.
Commissioner Frost has been nominated. Any other nominations? All those in favor of Commissioner Frost, say aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Frost is our representative on Crimestoppers. Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, any nominations?
Holly Jones.
Commissioner Jones has been nominated. Any other nominations? All those in favor of appointing Commissioner Jones, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Commissioner Jones is appointed by a 7-0 vote. Health and Human Services.
I nominate Miranda DeBrule.
All right. Mr. Burril, Commissioner DeBrule has been nominated. Any other nominations? All those in favor of appointing Commissioner DeBrule to that board say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And that is a 7-0 vote. Riverfront Development Board.
I nominate Brownie.
Newman.
Hey,
That was a little stereo.
That's good. Good synchronization. Any other nominations? I'll call the question. Any, with no other nominations, all those in favor of Commissioner Newman, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Commissioner Newman is appointed to the board. Land to Sky Regional Council. Any
Move
nominations?
to appoint Miranda DeBrule.
Commissioner DeBrule has been nominated. Any other nominations? All those in favor of appointing Commissioner DeBrule to that board, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Then Commissioner DeBrule is on that board also. We have Regional Airport Authority. I think
EDC.
we.
Let me go back and do the EDC.
Oh, thank you. Economic Development Coalition. Any nominations to that board?
Ellen Frost.
Okay. Commissioner Frost has been nominated. Any other nominations? All those in favor of Commissioner Frost being appointed to the EDC, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Commissioner Frost is appointed to the Economic Development Coalition. We have two boards on our agenda. In pre-session, we had elected to interview the Asheville Regional Airport Authority and have directed our clerk to set up those interviews, and also the County Board of Adjustment. We have one vacancy on each one of those, and we will interview all the individuals who have applied for those jobs. Okay. Next up, we have closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
And what would be, is there a motion by Commissioner Frost? Second. Is there a second by Vice Chair Belcher? Is there any discussion? And what is the purpose? I think we need to announce that for the record. Economic development matter. Do we expect any action? Okay, economic development, no action expected. All those in favor of going into closed session, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. We will be in closed session. We do not expect any action when we return.